Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today, I am going to be doing a binder maintenance video slash question and answer. I showed in one of my latest videos these fillers that I made and people seem to really like them. So I thought I might actually use them throughout my whole collection to fill in the spaces where I'm missing photo cards. I have these ones of their regular lovelies with their names on them. And then I also have these like minimalist ones with their baby lovelies on them. And I thought I could take you along with me as I put all of these throughout my collection. Normally, I would just talk about the photo cards that I'm putting away, but we're not actually putting any photo cards away. We're just putting in these fillers. So I figured to give myself something to talk about, I would do a little Q&A. So I asked some people on Instagram and here on YouTube if they had any questions for me. And some wonderful people submitted some questions for me, and I also added some other questions, and I just thought it would be fun to answer some questions about my collection. I'm just getting over a cold, so apologies if my voice sounds a little funny. I wanted to film this video like a week ago, but I was more sick then, so I figured I would just wait a little while until I was feeling a little bit better. So if my voice sounds a little funny, that's why. Let's get into it. We're literally gonna start from the very top of my collection and go all the way through and add these fillers in. I'm also transferring my solos and subunits collection into a brand new binder that I just got. But yeah, let's get started. All right, I've got my first binder out and ready. I have all of these fillers ready to be put away, and let's get into answering some questions. So the first question is, have you ever collected other groups besides TWICE? Yes, I have collected another group besides TWICE. The first group that I actually started collecting along with TWICE was Itzy. Itzy's actually the group that got me into K-pop. I no longer collect them. I love Itzy very much, but I think my love for Itzy was just so overshadowed by my love for TWICE. I think Itzy as a group are amazing performers, and I just don't resonate with their music as much anymore, but I love them as people and as performers, and I love to follow their journey. And I'm very excited for all of the new releases that they have coming out soon. Ice Cream by Yuna is so good. Air by Yeji is incredible. People slept on that. For me, I really just wanted to focus on my TWICE collection as just like a personality trait, I guess. I get kind of obsessive about things, and I really just wanted to focus all of my like time, energy, and attention to my TWICE collection because it really was just like my favorite thing. That's why I dropped Itzy, but I still love them. And if you want to see some of my previous Itzy collection, you can look at some of my older videos. I stopped around the Cheshire era, but I had a pretty good collection up until then, and I really enjoyed it, but I just loved TWICE so much, I really wanted to focus on them. The next question is, when did you first get into TWICE and what made you interested? This is a good follow-up question. I've actually told this story a few times on this channel before, so I'm sorry if you've heard this story before. But because I had first gotten into Itzy, I was watching videos of theirs on YouTube, and then I kept seeing this other group called TWICE showing up in my suggested videos. And at the time I was like, no, I'm not really interested in getting into another group. I'm really just happy enjoying Itzy right now. And then I don't know why, either I like clicked on one of those suggested videos or it just like rolled into one of the videos, and it was a music show performance of TT. And I just remember thinking like, this is so weird, and yet I love it. Like, I'd never really seen anything like it. They don't really make music like TT here in the United States. And so it was kind of like, what is this? But at the same time, I was like, it's so cute. And I'm also kind of obsessed. And that just kind of led me into like seeing other Twice videos. And I really like haven't like turned back since then. Like obviously Twice's discography is just unmatched, truly the pinnacle of K-pop music. But I think what like kept me interested in them was also their personalities and their dynamic as a group. Their music, their dancing, their performances, that's what got me hooked. And then getting to know them, at least their sort of like idol personas through their videos and their content is what kept me hooked and enjoying them for all these years. Okay, there actually wasn't a ton of stuff that I had to add fillers for this first binder. I think as we get into some of the newer stuff, I'll have more fillers. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next question is favorite K-pop song choreo to learn. So some people might know I talk about it on this channel sometimes, and I also post about it on my Instagram. I also am a part of a few K-pop dance cover groups here in my city, and that's also like a really big interest that I have. I think dancing is one of the big things that actually like got me into K-pop in the first place. But I think my favorite choreo to learn, I will say I do not like learning choreo at all. It's one of my like least favorite parts of the dancing process. I just like don't have like a brain that like works very well when it comes to learning choreography. So I don't know if any songs are my favorite to learn. Probably ones where the chorus repeats itself all 3 times for the choreography. I love that because it's less to learn. But I think my favorite choreo that I have learned would probably be either More and More or I Can't Stop Me. I love the choreography for that. So I would probably say, yeah, More and More or I Can't Stop Me. For another group, I also really have fond memories of learning Wannabe by Itzy. I sort of discovered K-pop in around like 2019, 2020, and that was when we were in lockdown for the pandemic. And so a lot of what I did to pass the time was learn K-pop choreography, and Wannabe was like the first piece of choreo that I learned in its entirety, and I just had so much fun learning it. It's such an iconic dance. The next question is, what are my top favorite Jihyo Photocards? Ooh, that is a hard one. I'm gonna have to think on this for a second. Wait, let me pause. Okay, I decided to limit this question to just album photo cards because if I was including all of my Jihyo photo cards, I'd be sitting here thinking for a very long time. So the first 5 that came to mind are this Jihyo More and More photo card. I just think she looks so beautiful in it. The pink hair, the beautiful background, and her signature, just so gorgeous. I love this one of my all-time favorites. This one for more like sentimental reasons. When I bought my Eyes Wide Open album, I specifically knew that I wanted this Jihyo photo card, and at the time I was only gonna buy one album, and from that one album I pulled this Jihyo photo card, and so she means a lot to me. And then I don't know, I just feel like in this Formula of Love photo card, she's just very much mothering. She looks very mother, and I love when she mothers. And then this last one from her solo, I just think, just because she's such an accomplished singer and musician, I love that she had a few where she's holding like a microphone or playing the piano. I really like this one, and I'm fingers crossed, hoping and praying we get a Jihyo solo comeback very soon. And then obviously she is queen to me, so I had to choose her crown card. I love this card so much, and I wanted it desperately. When I first purchased the With Youth Nemo sets, I purchased one of each concept, and from the, I think this is called like the Sparkle, Glimmer, something like that concept, I obviously wanted Jihyo's, and from that one Nemo set I bought, I did pull Jihyo's. And so this card is also very, very special to me. So yeah, I would say that these are my top 5 Jihyo Photocards, album Photocards as of right now. That could change, but yeah, love these Photocards. Oh, so there was actually a follow-up to this question. They also asked, or top 5 OT9 sets. Ooh, that's hard. I'm definitely gonna say the Crown card set from With Youth. What else? I think also the Amber Color Polaroids would be a top set. To go along with my favorite Jihyo Photocard, I think both of these sets could easily be in my top 5 OT9 sets. Eyes Wide Open has some of my favorite TWICE Photocards of all time. Probably this yellow train car set, and maybe the blue denim looks would also be a top OT9 set. I also think their fan club kit from their, I think it was the 4th generation where they're all wearing their member colors. Love those ones so much. Those are absolutely so amazing. Okay, next question. What inspired you to start collecting? Okay, so I originally, when I first got into K-pop, was really just interested in the music and the dancing and the performing. And I think it was around my birthday, I was like, you know what? I've seen people on YouTube unboxing K-pop albums, and I had told myself I wasn't going to get into buying albums. But for my birthday, I was like, you know what? I deserve like a little treat. I'm going to buy myself 2 K-pop albums. I bought myself TWICE's More and More album and Itzy's, I think it's It's Me, because that was around the time that those songs had come out. And as soon as I bought them, I just like immediately was hooked. K-pop albums are just so different from when you buy a physical album here in the US. It just like comes with these beautiful photo books and all of these amazing inclusions. I was just very much hooked, and I've always been like kind of a collector. I think it kind of like runs in my family a little bit. Both of my grandparents on either sides of my family collected things from like their travels around the world. And then my parents are big like Disney people. We have like, I would say a like small Disney museum in my parents' house, and they have all of this like vintage and antique Disney stuff that they collect. And when I was younger, I collected, and I still do kind of collect, Disney pins. And when I was really young, I used to collect Pokemon cards. I actually just parted ways with my Pokemon card collection. I finally sold it, and I kind of wish that I had done a video documenting my collection before I sold it. So I'm kind of sad I didn't do that. Yeah, I think I just have like the collector's like bug or like instinct. I loved it. I originally was gonna start like really small, maybe collecting like 1 OT9 set per era. And it just kind of like snowballed from there. Let me see, do I have anything else that I need to add fillers in for this binder? I don't think I do. Yeah, no, this is all very complete. So we can actually move on to our next binder. But yeah, that is what got me into collecting. And I've just enjoyed the hobby of collecting, and specifically collecting TWICE Photocards so much. I would highly recommend, if you're interested in collecting any group, TWICE is such an amazing group to collect. Okay, let me get out my next binder. Okay, so the next question is, this person said, I love your lovelies binder fillers. Will you be able to sell them worldwide? Much love from New Zealand. Aw, thank you. I would very much love to go visit New Zealand. That is a country I would love to visit. Will I sell my fillers? I have thought about it. I'm not exactly sure if I'm ready to do that yet. I really just kind of like threw the fillers together on Canva, and I don't know, part of me is like, I don't know if they're nice enough to like be sold. If there is interest in maybe like people wanting to buy them, I think what I might do is I would sell maybe for just like $2 or $3, like the files that you can download and then print, versus like selling them like and shipping them worldwide. I think that might be like a little bit more than I can handle. But really what these fillers are is like, I just printed them out and I put them in a white filler. So they're actually kind of smaller. They're like similar to the size of a photo card actually. And then I just put them in these white sleeves, which gives them this nice little border. And that's basically just how I made them. I wouldn't say they're like the nicest quality though. So that's what makes me feel like, oh no, I don't know if I should be like selling these or not. But let me know in the comments, like, would you be interested in like buying the files to print them out yourselves? I would definitely be interested in maybe doing that. I would sell them for maybe $2 or $3. I don't know. Because then you would just have the files for life, I guess. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in, and maybe I could try to set something up. But yeah, thank you so much for having interest in purchasing them. It's definitely something that I will look into. Okay, the next question is, what did you first expect when getting into collecting, and what surprised you the most? I don't know if I had any expectations really. I think I didn't expect maybe like how addicting it could be. It truly is very much like an addiction collecting photo cards. I think I wasn't expecting how quickly I would fall in love with it. I guess I also wasn't expecting how interesting the community for K-pop collecting can be. I've met so many wonderful people through K-pop collecting and just like being interested in K-pop in general. I feel like sometimes the K-pop community and the collecting community can get kind of a bad rap, but for the most part, I've had really lovely and wonderful experiences with people. You know what? I actually don't think I don't need any more fillers for this binder. So let me move on to the next one. Okay, this is my binder for their newer releases. So this is the one that we're probably going to be putting the most fillers away for. The next question is, what made you decide to collect OT9? I think it was never really a question for me if I would collect OT9 or not when I started my collection. I just have such a hard time, like in general, like choosing like a bias was like a terribly difficult decision for me. And I just love them all so much. Like I love them as like an entire group. And so for me, I felt like I wouldn't feel complete if I had any less than all 9 of them in my collection. That's just me personally. I totally understand when people want to collect just their bias or their top 3. But for me, I just always wanted to collect OT9. I don't know, it kind of felt like I was like leaving someone out or making someone feel like I didn't love them as much when I love all of the members equally, even if I do have a bias. So yeah, even when I collected Itzy, like I couldn't just collect one member, I had to collect them all. And I think that's probably why I do only collect one group, because like it's such a commitment to collect photo cards for 9 members that I really just wanted to only commit to collecting TWICE, because there are so many photo cards out there for TWICE anyway, and I really just focus on album photo cards in the first place. So yeah, that's why I collect OT9. The next question is, this is a really good question. If you were to be a member of TWICE for one day, who would you be? I think the like obvious answer, like this is a very easy question for me, is Jihyo. Like the power that she holds, I can't imagine what that must be like to have such charisma and star quality. I would love to be Jihyo like for a day when it's like a concert, just to like feel what the power of being her must feel like. I'm sure it would be amazing to be any of the members. I just admire Jihyo so much, so I think I would have to go with Jihyo. But on the flip side, I bet it would be super exhausting. She gives 200% to everything, so I'm sure she gets very tired after the end of each day. What is the next question? What got you into TWICE, the photo cards, the music, or their personalities? I think I sort of answered that a little bit. Oh, and they also asked, do you still have any of your Itzy cards? What happened to them? I did sort of answer these questions already, but I'll talk about them a little bit. I think part of what got me into TWICE's personalities was probably people will create like supercut videos of just like funny moments of them, and watching all of those like funny moments of them interacting, I just found like so funny, and I really did fall in love with each and every one of their personalities and just the dynamic they have as a group. So I would say for all the people that create those like edits of TWICE's like funny moments on YouTube and TikTok, bless you, you're doing great work. I really enjoy your content. So I already mentioned that I no longer collect Itzy, still love them, but I just decided to prioritize TWICE. I don't have any of my Itzy photo cards left, or at least I sold or traded most of them away. I just have a couple left. If I were to have kept any of my Itzy collection, I would have kept the Dala Dala Polaroid photo cards. I remember like I loved those so much. It took me so long to complete all 5 of them, and I was so happy when I had them. When it did come time for me to drop my collection, I was so tempted to hold on to them, but they're on the like rarer side, and I think I was trying to sell my collection more as a whole. I ended up doing a large group order for it, and I knew that most people would want those photo cards and it would make it easier to sell the collection as a whole. Part of me is like, I wish I had kept them just because I loved them so much. But yeah, those are the only Itzy photo cards that I kind of wish I still had. What is the next question? Would you ever stop collecting, or is TWICE a forever thing? At the moment, I don't have any plans to stop collecting. It's something that I really enjoy. It is, one of my favorite hobbies and things that I do. So I don't have any plans to stop collecting. I don't know if anyone ever plans to stop collecting. I have no idea where life will take me, but I like to think that collecting and being a fan of TWICE will be a forever thing. I kind of always say like, whenever TWICE does decide to retire, that'll sort of be like the end for me. When it comes to K-pop, like I'm really in it for TWICE. Like I enjoy so many other groups, but TWICE are like my end all be all. So I think I would stop collecting when TWICE stops making music, probably. But given that all of the members say that they really want to stay together as a group in some capacity for as long as they can, I don't see that necessarily happening anytime soon. And even if that did happen, I don't think I would ever get rid of my collection. I think my collection, I worked hard for it and I'm really proud of it. So unless I, fell into some hard times where I really needed the money. So yeah, I think TWICE and me, we're like this. And I don't think that's gonna change. The next question is, who was your original bias? The first member that caught my attention was my sweet Junghyun. She still is my bias. Like Jihyo and Junghyun are kind of like my top 2, Jihyo being my ult, but Junghyun being like just very closely followed behind. And I think when I first saw that TT music video, I was just like so floored by like how beautiful she was. And I think she also just kind of like stuck out because of her coconut head bowl cut. But I just like really enjoyed watching her. I love her voice. Okay, let me move on to, we finished all of the Korean album binders, and now we'll move on to my Japanese and non-album photo card collections. I think I actually only have like one filler to put in to my Japanese photo cards collection. So this one will be quick. The next question was, what was your first dance cover that you participated in? So this is actually kind of a funny story. When I first joined a K-pop dance cover group, I kind of was under the impression that because I was new, I had to audition to get in, and people don't really know you. And so as soon as I was accepted into the group, I just started signing up for literally everything. And what I didn't expect is that I got put into most of the dances that I signed up for. So the first ever dance that I did was Drunk Dazed by Hypen, which is like not something I would normally do. I typically tend to stay away from boy group music and choreography. But because I was so new, I was like, I want to dance. I want people to get to know me. So that was the first dance that I ever did. And it was honestly super challenging. Boy group choreography isn't like a style that I'm particularly comfortable in, but I'm actually really proud of it. For like my first ever dance, I actually think I did a pretty good job of it. And every once in a while, maybe once a year, I have this thought that I'm like, you know what? I need to expand my horizons. I need to do some more boy group choreo. So I usually do like one boy group dance a year. And I always end up regretting it. It's never fun. But yeah, Drunk Dazed was the first ever one. Okay, that was the one filler we needed for my Japanese binder. And now let's move into non-album. All right, here's my non-album binder. And the next question is, this is a few questions actually. The first question is, what is your favorite Twice B-side? I would say it would be a tie between Basics from Between 1 and 2 and Rush from With Youth. I just love those songs so much. They just make me so happy. I don't know what it is about Chaeyoung's pen, but she knows how to write a good song. Okay, so for this set, which is my like OT9 set I've created of their Yes I Am photo books, these two fillers, I made these fillers for this set because I knew it was going to be a very long time before I completed this. And so I made these like right at the start of my collection journey. And I'm actually like, I don't know, kind of sad to be taking them out just because they've been with my collection for so long. But I do think it's time for a change and for an upgrade. So yeah, this page looks so different now with these. I also have like so many B-sides that I love of Twice's. Like I should probably make like its own video of me just talking about my favorite Twice B-sides. I think another one that I'll shout out that I feel like people sleep on is Rainbow from Feel Special. That song brings me such like euphoria. I love that song so much. If you don't know that song, please get into it. It's so good. Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite photo book? Ooh, that is a really good question. I have a few. I think the Eyes Wide Open photo books are stunning, absolutely beautiful. I really love More and More, specifically the like outdoor ethereal like concept, the Feel Special photo books, except for the like prom concept one. I love those ones. I also really love the Taste of Love, like, I forget what it's called. There's the Taste version, the Fallen version. I want to say like the In Love version. It's like the pink photo book one. I really love those as well. I would also say the like outdoor concept for With Youth. Yeah, those would probably be my favorite ones. I remember the first Twice albums I bought were More and More and Feel Special, and I would spend like literally hours flipping through those photo books like over and over again. Okay, we just have one more. Where is it? Here. So I'm gonna put this group card on the back. Jihyo is gonna go on the front here. I have her, I just haven't put her away yet. And then the group card will go on the back. Yeah, it'll look nicer when the filler isn't in there. But yeah, that is everything for these Japanese and non-album photo card binders. And now we're going to get into my solos and subunits binder. Let me just quickly finish the last part of this question. It says, in a hypothetical situation, if you had the money, what broadcast set would you collect OT9? Ooh, that is a good one. I actually, just because like the broadcast photo cards aren't like as accessible, I don't know a ton of them, like what they look like off the top of my head. I want to say the With Youth ones, where they're all holding like the stuffed bunny, like those ones would be a top contender. At the moment, I don't have any plans to collect any broadcast sets, but if I did have all the money in the world, sure, maybe those would be the sets I would try to collect. Let me get out my solos and subunits binder because we have major changes to make to that. So here is my solos and subunits binder. I've been like toying with the idea of getting a regular binder, like not a ringless binder, because I wanted to get a binder that matched the color of the rest of my binders, which are all like either white or a lighter color. And I also wanted something where I just had more flexibility in how I set up my collection. So I finally decided to go ahead and I purchased a Meowcafe binder. This is my first ever Meowcafe binder. I did get it secondhand, so it is used, but I just didn't feel the need to get a brand new one just because binders can be kind of expensive. Meowcafe is not as expensive as Old Bias is, which is what all of my other binders are, but I am excited to transfer my collection into this binder. I think it'll look really nice and give me just a little bit more flexibility in how I want to set up the binder. Maybe in a future video, I'll talk about some of the differences between Meowcafe products and Old Bias ones. Yeah, this is my first time ever using a Meowcafe binder, so I figured might as well transfer everything on camera with you. So first, I'm going to take some stuff out of my original binder and then we'll put stuff into this binder. I think maybe we'll go like back and forth. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, let us start with my M9 collection. We'll take all of these photo cards out. And the next question is, oh, I think I kind of answered this question already. It is, what is your favorite underrated B-side? I sort of talked about Rainbow from Feel Special before. I'm gonna go with Runway from Misamo's Haute Couture album. People, I think, really are sleeping on that one. It is so good, and I feel very strongly that it actually should have been promoted as the title track over Identity. I really like Identity, but Runway, I think just like it fits the concept of Haute Couture so much better than Identity. And it really is just like the perfect song to strut to when you're walking down the street. The next question is, what is my favorite album? My favorite album would probably be a tie between Feel Special and Formula of Love. Both of those albums are just so amazing, like truly no skips, incredible, incredible music. And then I also really love With Youth, I think is slept on as an album. I also think This Is For has some of their best music on it, like Options, Right Hand Girl, Mars, incredible. Love that album. The next question is, how did Jihyo become your bias? I don't really remember exactly like how it happened or if there was like a specific like video I was watching or just like moment, but as someone who comes from a performance background, I went to school for musical theater. I really just appreciate good singing, good dancing, and strong stage presence. Like I really want to see the full package because that's sort of, when you're in the musical theater world, that is very much expected of you, that you can do all three and do all three of them very well. And not that any of the other members aren't all super, super talented, but I do think Jihyo really just is like such an amazing performer in every aspect of the word. And I admire her so much. So yeah, that is how I would say Jihyo became my bias. The next question is, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? I don't remember like how I ended up wanting to start my YouTube channel. Honestly, like I'm not really like a content person. The only thing about putting my solos into a binder like this is now you can see the backs, which part of me really appreciates. Like I like being able to see the backs of the photo cards, but I know for some people it'll be really bothersome for them to see like the backs not looking very organized. But I personally would rather see the front of the photo cards organized in a way that I enjoy and still have the backs look kind of messy. So I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, I'm not exactly sure what inspired me to do it, but I think part of why I started it is because outside of maybe like my K-pop dance groups, I don't really have a ton of people to talk about TWICE and K-pop with. And even with my dance groups, like none of them really seriously collect photo cards that much. They're really like in it for the dance. And so I wanted to have a way to share my love of TWICE and collecting their photo cards. I can't remember how I had this set up in my previous binder. I'm gonna have to go back and like relook at this. I don't remember, so I'm just gonna like put them in for now. I fear that this is not how I had intended, but this is how I'm gonna do it for now, and I'll go back at some point and make sure that they're in the correct order. I'm using my Baby Lovelies fillers for these just because since it's solos or subunits, like it can only be so many members, so I don't think it's necessary to have their names there. So I think just having their lovely with the member color will look really nice. Yeah, no, I think that looks really good. Okay, let me get out my next part of my solos and subunits collection. I just wanted to have a way to sort of like document the progress that I had been making with my collection. I had enjoyed watching other people's content so much. And I kind of figured like that looks like it could be fun. And I enjoy going back and watching my content and seeing all of the different progress that I've made in my collection. And I actually have just such a fun time doing this. I honestly can't like imagine not having my YouTube channel with this. I know like creating content isn't for everyone. I certainly didn't think I was someone who would necessarily want to do it because I kind of have like a hard time sometimes filming things because it like stresses me out a little bit. But I enjoy it so much now and I can't really imagine not having my YouTube channel. And I never really expected that it would grow the way that it has. So I'm very grateful for everyone that watches. Okay, next we have Misamo. We'll do these next. I'm not even sure. I had originally set up my binder in chronological order of when they were released. But now that I have a ringed binder, I can sort of mess around with if I want to like set it up by like member or subunit, whereas I have like all of each member's like releases. Oh, that doesn't go there. So that I can have like all of Nion's releases together and all of Misamo's releases together. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it, but this could change things up a little bit. Are there any groups that you listen to but you don't collect? Yeah, there are a lot of groups that I listen to that I don't collect. Le Sserafim is probably my favorite group that I listen to that I don't collect. I love Le Sserafim so much. I think their music is great. And my biases, I guess, in Le Sserafim are Chaewon and Yoonjin. I know, super original, but what can I say? They're just incredible. And who else? I've been really into Hearts to Hearts lately. They're fantastic. I love them. I can't wait to see more of what they do in the future. In terms of boy groups, or I don't know if we even consider this a boy group, but I really love X-Love. They're also incredible. I really love their concept and what they stand for, and I think their music is also amazing. So yeah, those are the two groups that come to mind. I also really like TXT as well. Who else? Obviously, I really like Itzy. I really like XG as well. Back in the day, I used to be really into IZ*ONE as well. Low-key wish they were still together, but then we wouldn't have groups like Le Sserafim or IVE. So, you know, I'm glad to see that pretty much all of them are like on to doing amazing things. But yeah, miss IZ*ONE. I also really like, even though I just said I don't really listen to boy groups, I kind of really like ATEEZ as well. Yeah, I'm like a casual fan of a lot of different groups, but TWICE and Le Sserafim are definitely the ones that I'm like the biggest fans of. And I'm starting to become a big fan of Hearts to Hearts as well. The next question is, what concerts have you been to and which were your favorites? Ooh, that's a good question. So obviously I have seen TWICE a few times, so I would definitely list them as some of my favorite concerts that I've been to. I think my favorite like experience was probably like 3, Roman numeral 3, that tour was an amazing experience for me just because it was probably the closest that I've ever been to the members. And it was just like being my first time, it was really special. And I got to go with one of my really good friends that I met through collecting actually, which was really, really fun. That was actually the first time that I got to meet her in person. It was really fun to have that experience with her. I would also say outside of TWICE, Beyonce is probably my favorite artist. And I've seen her a few times. And I would say, my favorite experience, I've seen her a bunch. Like obviously Renaissance and Cowboy Carter were incredible and life-changing, but I am a big fan of her album 4, and I got to see her at the Roseland Ballroom, which is probably one of the most intimate spaces that she's ever done a concert in, and I'm very grateful that I got to see that. It was when she was pregnant with Blue Ivy but hadn't announced it yet. That album just like means a lot to me. She's incredible. Like of any performer in the world, like Beyonce is like my end all be all. And that leads into what are your favorite non-K-pop artists? So yes, definitely Beyonce would be number 1. I really enjoy Ariana Grande, Sabrina Carpenter, Lady Gaga. Yeah, I would say those are the first ones that like come to mind. K-pop definitely dominates a lot of my music listening time, but those artists are also ones that I really enjoy. What is the craziest thing you've done as a K-pop fan? The craziest thing I've done is probably when I won tickets to see TWICE on Good Morning America. And in order to get like a spot closest to the stage, you had to wait in line. So I slept on the street in Rockefeller Center overnight with some of my friends, and we literally just had like a sheet that we put over some bubble wrap, and that is what we slept on. But it was a really, really cool experience just to see them on such a small stage. Waiting in line on the street all night was definitely kind of like rough in terms of like being comfortable, but like everyone that we met was so nice. I met the Once family. They're really popular on TikTok and they were so, so nice. I didn't meet him. I saw SQ Kpop, Sam from that YouTube channel. All like Onces are just so nice, and I always love getting to interact with people who love TWICE as much as I do. Do I listen to any boy groups? Oh, I kind of answered this question as well, but yeah, I would say TXT and ATEEZ, and sometimes casually every once in a while, Stray Kids. I can't say I'm a huge fan of their music, but every once in a while they come out with a bop. And then X-Love, if we want to consider them a boy group, are probably my favorite. What makes you stan a group? I guess probably like the music and the performance, like the dances, are kind of like what gets me hooked into a group. And then what makes me like stan a group or keeps me with the group is their personalities. So if I enjoy watching like their content outside of their performances, that is probably a sign that I am going to stan. So the music, the dancing, the performing, that's what like hooks me in. And then their personalities are kind of what keep me there. Okay, now we have Jihyo done. And then I have Nayeon's next release to put away. So let me get that binder out. Okay, the next question is, do you bias certain positions? Yeah, I definitely would say that if you are a strong singer or a strong dancer, so like the vocalist, if you're like the main vocalist or the main dancer, I'm probably going to stan you, but that's not like a hard and fast rule. I just like, I love a good voice and I love watching amazing dancing. So yeah, I would say typically if you're like a main vocalist or a main dancer, that is probably an easy way to become a bias of mine. Favorite types of concepts. I also think I sort of answered this one earlier, but I love like an ethereal outdoor concept, anything like that I really love. So like when TWICE did that for More and More. They've also done it for With Youth. I love when they do those and I hope they do more of them. The next question is current songs on repeat. I would say other than TWICE, because they're literally always on repeat for me, I currently have Hearts to Hearts, Focus, Rude, Style, The Chase. Like, I haven't gotten into their B-sides yet, so if anyone has any Hearts to Hearts B-sides that they recommend, let me know. Their title tracks, I'm in love with them. They recently went on tour doing like, I guess it was like their showcase tour, and I didn't get to see them. The tickets sold out really quickly and were also really expensive, but I would love to see them live. Have I ever had any high touch experiences? I haven't had any high touch specific experiences, but I've gotten to be like pretty close to the idols. I would obviously do anything to have like a high touch experience with TWICE. They don't really do any sort of like send off or anything like that at their concerts, so it's kind of difficult to have a high touch experience with them. And they also like, they do video calls like for buying albums, but I don't know, I've never even attempted to enter one of those. It just seems very daunting and difficult to win one of those. It seems like you really have to purchase a lot of albums, and I just don't have that money. But someday I do dream of getting to meet the members of TWICE and share with them how much they mean to me. Jonghyun, actually, I'm so upset. She visited the place that I work while she was on tour in my city. I work at a pretty popular tourist attraction, and I've sort of been hoping that one of the members of TWICE would come, but I no longer work like on site at the attraction, and I work like in the office, which is just across the street. But I have so many friends that still work there, and I was like, you know, if any TWICE member or even like any K-pop member like comes to Summit, like please let me know. I would love to be there, and I could give them like some free upgrades or help give them like a tour. But a lot of the idols don't let us know beforehand if they come. They just enter as like a regular guest. And so if we don't know about it, you know, no one can tell me that they're coming. So I believe that Jonghyun just entered as a regular guest. And she later posted photos on Instagram of her at my job. And I was like, it was cool to see her there, but I was also like devastated because like I would have like pulled out the red carpet for her, and I obviously would have loved to have met her. She's one of my biases. So the fact that she was so close to me and at the company that I work for, I'm so sad, but I hope she had a good time. It looks like she did. Okay, the next question is design an album for TWICE. Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I would say I really love, if we're talking like just about like the concepts of like things that they're wearing, I loved the like mermaid looks that they did for Dive. I wish they would do another sort of like ethereal underwater mermaid concept, maybe something like fantastical, like fairies-esque would, I think, be a really, really fun concept for TWICE. I also think anything like outdoorsy and ethereal is something that I would design for TWICE. I've also said for a really long time that I would love for TWICE to do like a full-on royal concept where they're like wearing crowns and they're on thrones and they've got scepters and like opulent outfits. Like I would love to see that from them because they really are just like K-pop royalty. And then another album concept that I would love to see from them, this isn't my idea specifically, Shojimi, who is another YouTube creator. He does a lot of like K-pop analysis. He mentioned that he would love to see TWICE do like a gothic vampire concept album. He specifically would have done that with Cry For Me as their title track. So if I could go back in time, I think that's such a good idea. Cry For Me is like such a good song. People love that song. It really did kind of like break the internet a little bit for a while there. And I would love to see them go back and do like a darker concept. It's been a while since they did that. I think everyone would very much enjoy that. So if they did sort of a dark vampire concept, that would be cool. And if they had done it, like Cry For Me, it was like so robbed of being a title track and having its own music video. So it would have really been cool to have that been like the title track for a dark gothic vampire concept. So yeah, those are the concepts that I would be really interested in seeing from Twice. They always do like really well with like bright summery concepts as well. So I'm always happy to see a summer concept as well. The next question is, what groups do you want to see live? I really want to see X-Love live. They are touring like literally everywhere except the US. I'm not exactly sure why they've chosen not to tour in the US, but I hope eventually they can make their way over here. And then who else? I've also seen LE SSERAFIM and XG in concert, and I really, really enjoyed them. I've seen TXT and ATEEZ as well, so I would see any of those groups as well. I guess I would really love to see Hearts to Hearts. I've seen Itzy as well, would love to see them again. But yeah, X-Love would probably be my #1 group that I'd like to see live. What is the hardest thing about having a YouTube channel? I think the hardest thing is probably thinking of like fun and interesting things to say. I feel like a lot of people are just like very natural on camera, and I don't think that I myself am. I kind of like freeze up, and I tend to sort of have long-winded conversations with myself on this channel. And sometimes I feel like I kind of like talk and blab on and on. I think that is probably the hardest part. It's like the thing that keeps me from filming more frequently, is because I'm always just like, oh God, I have to think of what to say. And then I think the other hardest part is like, you need to have like content. Like you have to have things to do in the video in order to film a video. So having to have something to film, like thinking of ideas can be kind of hard, and I can only like get as many Photocards as like Twice is releasing. So if they haven't had a release for a while, I have to kind of like think of a new idea of video. Like this question and answer style video was something that I thought of because it's been a while since Twice has had an album release, and I probably think that we won't have one for a little bit longer. So I need like something to fill the time and the space until they have their next one. I think I'm actually gonna move Nion's Nemo Photocards maybe to the front as like a little intro. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's do that. We can always move these around. That's what's nice about having this binder now. But yeah, that's probably the hardest part, is like you have to constantly have something to film, which is why sometimes I take like longer breaks in between putting out videos, because like, oh, I need to like get some more photo cards. It's like a financial burden, I guess, as well. I can only film if I have photo cards to put away, so I constantly have to be on the lookout for photo cards. So those are probably the hardest things, but honestly, it's so worth it. Like filming videos for this channel is like something that I really look forward to. I just love sharing my collection and my love of Twice with everyone. So even though it's difficult sometimes, it's worth it. The next question is, which disbanded group would you bring back? I keep answering the questions before I get to them. Definitely IZ*ONE. Like, I loved IZ*ONE so much. Their music is so good. I think my favorite song of theirs is Fiesta. And I also really like, honestly, all of their title tracks are so good. I really like Panorama. What a good song to end on. That would be the disbanded group that I would bring back. Luckily, because I haven't been to K-pop longer than now, it's been about like 6 or 7 years, I haven't had to witness too many groups disband, or at least groups that I like. And luckily, I count my lucky stars every day that Twice is my old group, because they truly show no signs of slowing down. The next question is, choose one of your ults to be stranded on a deserted island with. Ooh, I think any of the members of Twice would have like a good reason for me to want to be stranded with them. But in terms of like survival, I would probably definitely go with actually Jihyo or Junghyun. I think they're both super like smart, and I think they probably have good survival instincts. They're both kind of like, they're fighters. I think that would make them good to be on an island with. I think Junghyun would definitely make me laugh while I was there. And I think the three of us together, like, we'd survive. We'd get the job done and find our way back to safety. I feel like I probably wouldn't want to be stranded with Nyan. I feel like she probably, as much fun as she would be to be around, I feel like she might not be super helpful on a deserted island. No shade to Nyan. I feel like Baekhyun would be good around because I hate bugs and she doesn't care about bugs, so she could rescue me from the bugs. Those are the members I think would be the most useful to have. I think Nyan and Momo would probably be maybe the least useful to have around. Does that mean to say? But obviously super fun to be around. What item are you most proud of in your collection? Ooh, that's a good question. I am very proud of, I guess, like my album collection as a whole. I have all of their albums except for their digipack albums. I don't specifically collect theirs, but all of the rest, I have all of them, including the Twice Coaster Lane 1 Christmas edition. And I just got Chaeyoung's cover of page 2, which was like the last one that I needed. So I'm really excited about that. And I'll show that off in another video. My monograph collection, I'm also really proud of. I have all of them except for page 2. So hopefully I'll be able to find that soon. And then I also have a few signed albums. I have OT9 signed albums for More and More, Feel Special, which is OT8 technically because Mina was on hiatus. And I also have With Youth. So I'm really, really proud of those. And I also have all 3 of their light sticks, which I'm really happy about. So that collection I'm very proud of as well. Next question is, do you ever look at your collection and regret how much you spent? That is a very good and a very real question. I would say I don't look at my collection and regret how much I spent because I try not to think about it. I am very good at avoiding my problems. So I don't really think about how much I've spent on it. If I did think about it, I think I would be very sad. I definitely would have a lot more money in my bank account if I didn't. Like, I acknowledge that. I think the only time it makes me sort of regret it is when it comes time to like plan like travel or a trip and I'm like stressed a little bit about money. It's like, I wish I had a little bit more money so I didn't have to stress about the money that I'm spending on traveling. But overall, I don't regret it. Like, collecting really brings me so much joy. And I have found, I think, a good balance for how much that I spend and how much I save and how much I spend my money on other things as well. I wouldn't say I regret it, but I definitely avoid thinking about what the number is of like how much money I've spent on my collection, because it was definitely, not one I want to think about. The next question is, what does your family think about your K-pop collection? That is a loaded question. I think my family, I don't talk to them a lot about it. Like, they know how much I love Twice, and they've seen like my album collection because I have it displayed proudly in my apartment. But they haven't really seen my Photocard collection, which also, sorry, when I'm talking about my prized possession, I would also say just like my Photocard collection as a whole, I'm obviously very, very proud of. That would probably be number 1. For Christmas one year, I asked for some Old Bias binders, and they were kind of like shook at what the price of them was. And they were like, this is what you want? Like, you're spending your money on this? Like, seems kind of crazy. And I just think it was kind of crazy for them to even question why I wanted to spend money on my collection. They literally are collectors themselves. Like, they collect Disney memorabilia. So it seemed wrong of them to sort of question my collection and what I want to collect when they literally collect things too. It's something that I love and appreciate, so it doesn't really matter if they get it or not. But my husband, oh my gosh, I'm not wearing my wedding ring. Let me put that on. I'm always like so scared of losing my wedding ring, so when I'm at home, I typically don't wear it. My husband, he loves and appreciates Twice for me, which I really appreciate. I really love having someone who encourages me to just pursue the things that I love. That is a very special thing to have. The next question is, do you join group orders or have you ever hosted your own? I have never hosted my own group order. That sounds very daunting. And I think the people that do host group orders are amazing people. And I thank them for their services. I really appreciate them. But I do not myself host any group orders. I enter group orders sometimes, honestly, only if I really need to. If I can get the item on my own, I personally prefer not to join a group order. That's just like my preference. I'm kind of like impatient and I would rather pay a little extra for the convenience of having it sooner, especially since I collect OT9. It doesn't really help me when it comes to like album releases to get my albums through group orders because I don't benefit from the sorting that other people benefit from. I just like want all of the photo cards. So yeah, I would say for me, I don't enter a ton of group orders unless it's something that I know I'll have a hard time getting on my own. The next question is, do you own any Polaroids or broadcast cards? I do not own any Polaroids or broadcast cards. That would obviously be amazing, but they're just so expensive and such a financial investment that I personally am not interested in getting into Polaroids or broadcast cards. But I think it's so cool when people do have those things. And if I were to have the opportunity to get one for not $1 million, maybe that could happen. But as of right now, it's not really something that I'm interested in. The next question is, do you collect every version of an album or just specific versions? For TWICE, I guess they're the only group I collect. I collect every single version of every single one of their albums for their Korean releases. I don't collect digipacks, so I don't have every single version in that way, but they're like anything that's like more of like a photobook style. Yes, I do have every single version. And I don't collect any of their Japanese releases really, except for Misamo. They're the only ones that I collect their albums for their Japanese music. Just because for the Japanese releases, they typically release just like jewel case versions of the albums, and I'm not really interested in jewel case or digipack versions of albums. So yeah, I pretty much collect all standard photo books, just no digipacks. The next question is, what is your holy grail item? I guess like it would be, oh look, it's so fun to see the backs of these. I think in terms of like an item, it would be really cool to have an OT9 set of signed photo cards. I would love to have the opportunity, if TWICE ever did some sort of like a send-off, which I don't think they are going to at this point. They're just like, they're too big, they're too famous. I think it's just not something that like JYP artists typically do. I would love to have the opportunity to get an OT9 set of photo cards signed by each member. That would be really cool. But in general, I think like not necessarily an item, but more of like an experience. I would love to have like a front row barricade seat at a TWICE concert. And I would love to have the opportunity, like I said, to meet and get to like sort of speak to TWICE in some capacity. That would be amazing. But yeah, I think in terms of like items, I have most of the things that I really want. Like obviously there are some photo cards that are like hard to get that I'd love to get, but if it's like a holy grail item, I think I'd rather like have like the experience of getting to do like a high touch or a fan sign with TWICE, or have like an amazing TWICE concert ticket or something. The next question is, do you keep your albums sealed? I don't keep my albums sealed. I opened all of them, obviously, to get the photo cards out. And then I have thought about getting like the like plastic, I don't know what it is, like the covers that you can get, like you can wrap your albums so that they don't get any like dust or debris in them. In theory, I would love to do that, but I like to look through the albums every once in a while. And if they're like wrapped up and sealed, it makes it, you know, obviously difficult to access the albums, to look through them. So I don't have that done on the albums right now. I think eventually it might be a good idea. But as of right now, no, they are on my bookshelf and available for viewing at any time. I actually went through all of the questions that I had compiled, so I don't have any more Q&As to answer, but I still have a few more photo cards to put away. So I'm just gonna keep doing this and then I'll just keep talking through the rest of the video. But if you liked this Q&A style video, please let me know in the comments and let me know if you'd like to see more of these style videos. I have enjoyed doing it because it gives me something to talk about and I don't have to like think about what I'm gonna say. And if you would like to see me do more of these types of videos, please feel free to ask me any questions that you have in the comments. I will definitely keep them compiled and we'll use them for any future Q&A videos that I do. I also, in the time that I haven't uploaded something here on YouTube, I have also started a TikTok account for Feel Special Trades as well. And I'm also having a really fun time doing that. I love doing YouTube, I would say, much more because I'm definitely a yapper, so I love to talk, and with TikTok I'm doing more stuff with just like music over it, but it's a cool way to document my collection and show my collection off. So I will put a link into my TikTok in the YouTube description, but it's been really fun doing stuff for TikTok as well as YouTube. I think I really appreciate creating content on TikTok because it's so easy to create TikToks, whereas it can be a little bit more labor inducive to create videos for YouTube. I've been trying to release one TikTok a day just to get started and like grow my following on there. And I have like, I would say at least like 2 weeks worth of TikToks that I already filmed just like in one go. That was really easy to quickly do. So it's nice being able to do less effort and still be able to put out some good quality fun stuff that people seem to like. It's funny because I'm just showing like each video is just me putting away an OT9 set, and I think for people that don't follow me here on YouTube, they're like, how many albums did you buy? Like, where did you get all these photo cards all at once? And I've been having to explain that it's like, no, I didn't just get all of these. Like, I promise, like, I didn't buy like a million albums all at once. I've been collecting for 6 years now. But yeah, if you want to, please go follow me on TikTok. My handle is the same as it is here on YouTube. I just figured it might be fun to expand the Feel Special Trades empire, my little modest empire that I have here. For a while, like my videos weren't really getting like a lot of views on TikTok. And then I posted a video. I wasn't sure if I should include OT9 sets that I hadn't completed. And then the one video I put up of an incomplete OT9 set, I'm starting in chronological order from The Story Begins, and I haven't finished the pink border set for Signal. And that video has gotten me like the most views and the most followers from any of my videos. And I just think it's so funny that like, I didn't expect that like my incomplete OT9 set would be the video that is starting to get like my TikTok going. So yeah, if anyone has any recommendations or like ideas of videos that they would enjoy seeing, whether it be on TikTok or here on YouTube, like feel free to let me know. I'm always interested in new ideas of new videos for any of my social media platforms. I'm also thinking of getting a new bookcase for my album collection. I am sadly outgrowing my current bookcase, so I need to get a bigger one. Every time I get a new bookcase, I'm always like shocked at how quickly I outgrow it. So I need to get a new one, and I'm thinking of filming a video of that, of me setting up my new bookcase and putting all of the albums in there. So that will probably be coming out soon. I just have to like get the bookcase from IKEA, which will take a while. And then I just have actually a few extra Misamo Haute Couture cards that I can actually add here. Because of the ringless binder that I had, I wasn't able to, like I kind of had to limit how many photo cards that I could have for each era, but now I don't have to abide by those rules. So I think I'm gonna add in one more page for Haute Couture, which I already have 1, 2, 3, 4. But I had these extra photo cards that I just like had, and I'm like, I guess I can just add them to the collection. So let me just do that now. I really enjoy seeing the backs of the photo cards, even if they're not super organized looking. I have always just enjoyed the designs of the photo card backs, and it made me sad that I couldn't see them with the old binder that I had. But yeah, these are some Misamo photo cards that like I had gotten and then got different ones and just didn't have room for them in my old binder, but now I can fit these in, and it gives me the opportunity to get one more OT3 set for Haute Couture, which is funny because I haven't actually even finished the original sets that I needed to get. I'm still missing a couple things, but I think it'll be fun to choose one more set to add here. So I'll quickly just put the last couple fillers in here. And yeah, that is actually everything that I have for this video. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. I really do appreciate them. I got so many good questions, some that I really had to like think long and hard about. So thank you for submitting those. If I do another Q&A in the future, like please feel free to send me some more questions. And yeah, thank you for watching this new and different video with me. It has been really fun adding these fillers and just, you know, chatting and answering your questions. The next video that I have will probably be a storing photo cards video, and hopefully I will get that out very soon. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.